This being my 50th vlog video, I am introducing a new dynamic to help. This is a good friend of mine, a fellow comedian I work with and have for a long period of time. Please welcome Espo. We're going to get straight to the point. This video is about MGTOW, M.G.T.O.W. If you're unfamiliar with it, there's tons of stuff online. MGTOW stands for Men Going Their Own Way. It has subgroups like men's rights activists, MRAs, which can be found online. There are also anti-feminists. There are subcategories. Men Going Their Own Way is basically a subculture or an online culture of men who are apparently fed up with their lot in life and say that feminism has corrupted the dynamic balance between genders, and men going their own way saying, fuck off, I don't want to deal with you. And the one standby is that they refuse to get married, and apparently that's the big hullabaloo, is that they don't want to get married and it upsets women. Now when I say it upsets women, I'm saying that these people are saying that women are upset that they're not marrying them. I would never take somebody by their word. I'm not married and it has upset not a single woman. I invited Espo here because for a couple of reasons. We're both 34. Born and raised in Syracuse, upstate New York, and we are both never married, right?
Never married. Thanks for saying my age. And I really think it's important to illustrate that the direction these men are taking are away from women, but not towards each other. So this is no underground pornographic film. If it was, that guy would look way better, because totally not my type in any any retrospect.
You think you could do better?
I think I wouldn't do if I couldn't do better.
Hypothetically.
Not that you're a bad-looking guy. You're just not my type.
Not your type. But all right, women say, and you're funny. So is this true? Women say they go for a man with a sense of humor. I do stand up. I've been told I have a good sense of humor. Is that not enough for you?
I find that sense of humor goes a long way. I mean, but sense of humor doesn't pay the bills. So, that's really kind of where you end up at the end of the day, You gotta...
Trying to get it to pay the bills.
You gotta bring home the bacon.
That's a good point. I am...
Full of them.
I am a fiscal abortion. Basically, my bank account's drained, but I am rich with life experience and damaged liver as a result of my 20s. So I bring something to the table, my personality. I don't provide the table or the food on it. So you go out to eat occasionally. When you bring a female, whether or not you're dating her, do you pick up the tab?
I always offer to pick up the tab. Usually on the first couple of dates it's 50-50, but they expect you to pick up the tab, and if you're asking somebody out, you should pick up the tab. So how it usually goes for me is I pay for the tab, and if they're cool, which I hope they are, they take care of the tip. So it's kind of a 50-50, but not really. So they feel like they paid a little, they feel like they contributed, but...
You see it that way, though? I mean, isn't that's a good trade-off. I think if you ask them out, if you proposition, and they say, I'll pay for the tip, I mean, this isn't retro 1950s chivalry. I'm saying they picked up the tip, you asked them out, seems like a fair trade to me.
I agree. But we all know that we're really just floating the bill to hope to get head. So, I mean, is it really that fair of a trade? Not cool, guys. Don't be that guy.
So, I'd say it goes without saying that you'd rather just pay the tip and get head at the end of the night.
See, it's like he understands me. And
that's why men are going their own way. Within men going their own way, let me preface this by saying Tom and I are no experts. We did some online research, watched some videos. It smacks of misogyny, but they word it in a way where it's actually not misogyny. It's just men standing up for their independence. Within this, it's just a community of men. I don't know if they want to be included or not. There was a movement called the pickup artist movement type thing. Have you heard of them, the pickup artists?
no, I have not.
Pickup artists are, in my research, they're a bunch of losers who got tired of Dungeons and Dragons and decided to figure out psychological ways to manipulate women into finding them attractive. They wrote books on it. There was even a TV show, and the TV show had like a grandmaster pickup artist, which was really like a twink in a feathered hat, who was teaching a bunch of fat gamers how to pick up women. And I think ultimately everybody failed miserably, and the show got canceled.
There's a grandmaster? What is this?
Pickup artist?
Is
Yeah.
this a clan meeting? There's a grandmaster? Cool pickup artist. Real cool, man.
Well, yeah, it's men fighting for dominance over women. So it's not interrace; it's intergender. So I mean, there are some parallels to be drawn there.
By what you said, what he just said is almost verbatim the definition of rape. Just throwing that out there.
Rape, yeah. Well, rape by definition, rape has such a slew of definitions now, but I think one that everybody stands by is the act of sex without consent. Have you ever been raped?
Not that I know of, but I woke up one morning with a headache, face down, with a condom hanging out of my butt, so I don't know what to think of it.
Well, I left a note. Fucking.
And it was nice of him to use a condom. I mean, he's a gentleman. What can I say?
Yeah.
He went his own way. In my ass.
Yeah, so,
Romantic. He's the romantic one out of us.
that's it. And I never went to trial because Tom's too much of a bitch to,
Snitches get stitches. Snitches
yeah,
get stitches.
Exactly. And
Boom.
we're still here to talk about it.
Boom.
I was raped. I was actually raped. This is a true story.
His dad's really not nice to him. He's really not.
Well, we have a close family. But there was another time I was raped, and the weird thing is I don't like using that word. I don't feel like I was raped. I don't like the definition of rape. I don't like how it's so harsh. I don't like the way people use it, but it fits the definition. I got drunk, passed out in my dorm, and when I woke up, somebody was blowing me. So I didn't give them consent, and there was penetration, and I woke up, and I did what any rape victim would do. I said, finish up, I'm tired, I want to go back to sleep. And technically it fits as rape, and I'm going to tell you, as a survivor, it wasn't that bad. So
And he got an A in history because the professor thought it was cool that he didn't narc. So
there you go.
this kid's
So
relentless. I love him.
I guess callously, I'd like to say to all rape victims, get over it.
That's all him.
That's
That's
getting
what he said.
That's getting edited. That's actually not getting edited. No, I don't say to all rape victims. I say to rape victims that are disproportionately overblowing their cases, people who said yes and then regretted it later. Look, we all have terrible sexual experiences. It's part of life. If you really did get raped, that's an atrocity and it needs to be taken seriously. But me getting woken up with a blowjob is technically within the definition of rape. But there was no harm done. I didn't mind it, no big deal. So it doesn't have to ruin your life. Anyway, let's get back to MGTOW.
I didn't sign up for any of this shit, just so it's out there. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, he doesn't agree with that. This is me speaking. Men going their own way. How do you feel about the movement as we've looked into it?
I mean, the same way that they feel about feminism. It's kind of reverse feminism. They're just trying to go their own way, but it's disrespectful to women the way they're going. I mean, women find it disrespectful. They find women disrespectful. It's a classic argument as far as I see it. And I just think it's weird because I love women. All women. I'm an equal opportunist lover.
Yeah, I love women too. I think they're fantastic. I would like to go on the record as saying I am not a man going his own way. I have been looking to meet the right one and get married since 3rd grade. Her name was Sarah Kearney, the only blonde I ever went after, to be honest. I'm not into blondes. But yeah, I've always wanted to get married, and the reason I'm 34 and not married is because I take it seriously. You know, I'm not going to be part of the 50+% that gets divorced, no matter what everybody says.
You don't think it has anything to do with the fact that you still live at home with your parents?
Well, that's probably a hindrance to getting married. I mean, I think, I don't know. I do have a double bed. It's close. I think that was uncalled for. I would say that was totally disproportionately uncalled for. I'm actually quite offended.
That comes from all the rape victims that you just offended.
All right,
I got your back.
There you go. See, he won. Woo! He won him back. That's good.
That's what I do.
I'm sorry I invited you.
Big things. Big things.
Okay, so let's see. I wrote a list of reasons the men going their own way movement has chosen not to get married. In their own words, the first reason, she'll get fat. She'll get fat. I'm not saying that, that's what they said. Second reason, no more sex with other partners. I think they said verbatim, no more fucking other people. Number 3, marriage is expensive. The average marriage costs between 30 and 50K. Yeah, surprisingly. 4 is why get the government involved in all the paperwork? 5, your sex life goes down the toilet, they said. And 6, this is a statistic which everybody knows, but the second one is interesting. Divorce is over 50% in the United States, and 80% of divorces are initiated by women. I did not know that. And 97% of alimony is paid by men to women. So these are the statistics that are driving men to go their own way. You're happy you didn't marry any of the people, the potential prospects that you've had in your past. There are no regrets.
I am super stoked that I get up every morning and beat off instead of having morning sex. It's awesome. It feels good.
That's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, requiem for my life.
Are you ambidextrous with that?
No, but sometimes I sit on my hand till it loses feeling, and I do it that way. They call it the stranger.
Stranger. Know about that, yeah.
It's good stuff.
It's good. Yeah, you could also tie a heroin rubber band around your arm, before you push off, but then wait till your hand goes numb. Use it.
All right, Mr. Carradine, they need you on set.
All right, thanks. Yeah, let's make fun of a guy who died hanging himself while masturbating.
Weirdo.
Would you marry a woman who earns more than you?
Preferably.
Preferably, okay. What would you do if the woman you married, hypothetically, she's 5'7", very attractive, within the first 3 years she gained 45 pounds?
If it's not 45 pounds of knowledge or tits, we're heading to the courthouse.
To the courthouse. So you're not... you're
I look
not,
at it like she didn't keep up her contractual part of the bargain.
yeah, so you would lay
Don't
down
turn
the
into
bra-
a fucking beast within the first year of marrying me.
Are you open enough?
Don't
I mean,
false
as a
advertise.
comic, I know you are, but I'm saying, are you open enough to share that with the person you're marrying before you get married? Like, just so we had a couple of margaritas. It was a great night. I never thought I'd like a pina colada. It seems like kind of a fruity drink. I really liked it. By the way, our marriage is coming up. If you gain more than 20 pounds, we're having a serious discussion because it's unexcusable. Would you tell them ahead of time, or would you wait till it happened?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things in that I wouldn't do. I probably wouldn't tell her. I sure as shit wouldn't be drinking a pina colada. And on top of that,
Fuck you, they're good.
they're okay. You know, that's why he goes his own way. And yeah, no, I probably wouldn't say it. I would just assume that she would see that I take stock in my health and stay in a certain type of shape. So if she was to balloon 1/3 of her body weight, it probably would throw up a red flag for me, yes.
I think also the question that feminists watching this are asking is this discussion appalling? The fact that we're talking about a woman getting fatter and whether or not we would stay with that person. Because, I mean, in the politically correct climate that we live in, it's almost unacceptable to say, if my girl got fat, I'd leave her. You shouldn't even say that. I think the truth is, it's a relevant topic. That's the thing. When you're talking about men going their own way, there's a list of pros and cons. And you have, you know, on the positive side, you have companionship, you have friendship, you have romance, you can build a family, and you have kids. But the kids are also a liability. I mean, they require work and resources. And on the cons list is also the potential for divorce, alimony, child support, infidelity, possible infidelity. So I think men going their own way are really basing this on a cost-benefit, risk-benefit analysis. The cost-benefit. Is it better to be where we are? It's not better to be where I am. I'm saying you. Single, 34.
I would say financially probably, but I mean, who wants to be lonely? Being lonely sucks.
How do you feel about prenuptial agreements?
I feel that it takes the romance out of the situation, but with the statistics that you read earlier in the film, I guess you kind of have to. When the odds are against you, you should probably, do what you have to do to take care of yourself at the end of the day. But by that definition alone, it's just anti-romance.
There was a book by the name of Esther Vilar out of Germany called The Manipulated Man that many MGTOWs had cited. And basically, directly from the book, it said that women exploit men who are conditioned by sex. In your experience, in your past relationships, do you find that women have used sex as a bartering tool? Like you offer something, you do something generous, you go out of your way, and you get rewarded by having sex. Is that a common occurrence?
I hope so. I didn't buy these flowers for no reason. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Yeah, I think the truth is there is some element. I think it's bartering. I don't know if it's fucked up though that they're bartering for sex. I mean, you talk about, there's the stereotypical extremely wealthy old man who's a widower and ends up marrying some 22-year-old before he dies because she wants money and he wants a 22-year-old girl. And I don't know, people criticize it, but the fact of the matter is that is a staple of a larger sociological paradigm in which we live, in which money and resources obtained by men are being used in exchange for sexual capital. If you have money, if you have cars, if you have fame, if you have resources and power, you get to fuck hotter, younger people. And if you're a hotter, younger female, you get to teabag old balls for a nest egg when the old guy croaks. I mean, and you get to go to a funeral and celebrate while everybody else is miserable because they lost their inheritance.
I think this is you doing what you always do, and that's overcomplicating things. Whereas, if this is happening, I think it says more about society than the individual. But let's just revert back to the point that we were talking about before. I would totally bang the shit out of my wife if she would mow the lawn. I think that's an even trade.
So you're saying
I would have no problem
you're saying you
going
have
down
sexual
on
capital.
my wife
Oh, all right.
from back to front if she is going to rake the leaves.
After mowing the lawn, back and front, after mowing the lawn.
First of all,
That is
no.
That's a
No.
bold. You are definitely.
I mean, what kind of
strong, independent man.
What kind of acreage are we talking? If there's over an acre, sure. I'll eat a sweaty ass. It's a lot of work. I don't want to do it. It'd be less work to eat a sweaty ass. I'm just saying.
I'd rather she mowed a postage stamp if I'm doing all that work. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a back to front type of guy. That's just me.
Well, how about front to back? I mean, it's I'm versatile.
How about I just stay front? Like I'll do whatever she wants to do. I just don't think I have a lot of sexual capital.
What if she
like?
What if she likes it from the back?
I don't think any women are like, I'll do some weed whacking and get some dick. I don't think that's it. I mean,
we were talking about the bartering system, and I was just putting it on the other.
Yeah, but
putting it on the other foot.
You don't have sexual capital as a man.
Who says?
A society. I don't know. I'm not saying women don't get aroused and horny, but I think when you're in a relationship, I think you lose sexual capital. I don't think. I mean, the value, if it was on the NASDAQ exchange, like where you're talking about pussy and dick, I would say dick is like the .com bubble in the 90s. Like everybody was rich, it was worth something, and then women, you're talking about the whole aspect, the whole sexual appeal of the woman is like gold. It should be the reserve currency. Like, we should have just stayed with that. Women have sexual capital. And I'll tell you why. Women have sexual capital because the main hormone that drives sex, that it encourages sex drive, is testosterone, which is more predominant in men. So men have higher testosterone, they have higher sex drives. Most men are heterosexual, not all. They have higher sex drives, they're mostly heterosexual, and as a result, women have a higher sexual value. I mean, you're borderline unfuckable.
Well, from the party that's coming from, I'm thankful, and you got the NASDAQ, and you got the Dow. You can't have one without the other, Dan. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, no, I like your momming too. No, it's true. I think there are men with sexual. Okay, we both do comedy. How important do you think in your pickup game is your sense of humor?
I would say introduction it's imperative. Out of the gates, it's imperative. Because no matter what you say or no matter what you do, wherever you are in the room, if you're smiling and having a good time, everybody's wondering what you're smiling and having a good time about.
That's a good point. Do you have any advice for, guys who are less outgoing, tips to break ice in a way that's natural, that's conducive towards building a decent conversation?
To those guys,
Yeah.
dating websites would probably be what I would say to them.
So initiate on a website.
Well, yeah, because they're too fucking dumb to do it in person, so I guess you might want to do it behind a computer screen. It would seem the way to go.
Yeah, but you still have to meet the person. What's
Just swipe left. Swipe left.
What's okay? Dating sites. Do you have any in particular that you would recommend?
No, I'm a human being. I actually know how to talk to other human beings. So for me personally, hello is usually my.
That's weak. I gotta tell you. Hello.
Hey, how are you? Who are you? What are we about? What's going on here? I don't know. Do you know?
That's better. I like who are you?
Who are you?
If you could somehow
What
who are you? If you could
what
somehow work
embodies you?
in
What embodies you? You.
if you could somehow work in the fuck, like who the fuck are you? I think that's a great icebreaker.
And that's why Dan is currently single.
Not necessarily. I'm bitterly lonely.
I try to respect people's relationships in hopes that mine would be respected, even though mine never is. But I try to fight the good fight, but it never really works out. The good guy always finishes last. That's for sure. And the other guy is fucking your girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, ladies. The good guy finishes last. Baggage. Would you consider your amount of baggage low, moderate, or heavy?
I'd say moderate.
I would say it's low. You have no kids. You have no ex-wives. You have diseases. You don't have to answer that.
No, not.
You have no kids. You have no ex-wives. I think it's very very low baggage.
Yeah, but I have trust issues because women are whores. So I mean, I have trust issues, kind of like the guys, but I'm not going to walk away from punani. Let's be honest. I'm going to run towards it. I'm going to run towards it. I'm going to bury myself in it like I'm Jimmy Hoffa on the 50-yard line. Have I? Yes, everybody's been cheated on.
Have you cheated on somebody?
Of course.
Okay.
Some things are.
Which was a worse experience for you?
Well, considering one ends in orgasm and the other one ends in tears, I'm going to go ahead and say being cheated on.
Sucks. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's, I don't know. I mean, but one's a poor reflection of yourself, and the other is you suffering an injustice and growing as a person.
Well, I think that's irony at its best, Dan.
Yeah, Alanis Morissette would be proud.
It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife.
Or meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful
Wife.
wife. But he's not married because he's a man who goes his own fucking way. In your 30s, is the dating pool smaller for heterosexual guys? And do you have any advice for men in their 20s as a result of having gone through them as a dating heterosexual man?
I would say the dating pool is the same. Where you live contributes to your dating pool size and opportunity. I would say to guys in their 20s, don't boof anything. Don't mess around with Flamin' Jenkins.
No butt chugging?
And bang as much as you can, because one day the ocean will dry up. I assure you of this.
Wise words, something to reflect upon. Thank you for watching this. I hope it was illuminating on some level, and I hope that you don't get herpes. Anything else to add?
All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe.